Así arrancamos la última parte del programa del día de la fecha. Vamos a entrevistar a NICARUS. Escuchábamos recién Blueprint. Hi, NICARUS, how you listen me good?
I hear you very good. Hi.
Hi, hello. Bueno, Raúl, arrancar nomás con la entrevista, nomás.
Dale, perfecto. Hello, we are live. We are going to start with the interview. So please tell us your full name, where are you from, and how old are you?
My name is NICARUS, my stage name. My real name is Tali Green. I'm from Israel. And what else you wanted? My age?
Yes, please.
Yes, I'm 39 this month.
Okay, perfect. I'm over 40, so it's okay. Everything is okay. Estamos hablando con la artista NICARUS, es su nombre de escenario, su nombre es Tali Green, vive en Israel y tiene 39 años, va a cumplir este mes. And can you tell us which is your first memory of you listening to music?
My first memory of me listening to music, I since I remember myself, honestly, since I was like really young. You know, we're the generation where we actually had vinyls before it was a fashion thing. You know, the spinning thing, the album. So that was like, I remember myself as a child, sitting on the floor with big headphones, Sony system, you know. Yeah, since forever, honestly.
Okay, perfect. And which kind of music?
No, when I was young, whatever we had, you know, whatever we had coming here. It was before the internet, so I guess whatever you can catch your hands on. Like when I found Metallica, I was only like 10 years old. Wow. And it was a cassette tape, and my father bought it like from a friend. It was really hard to get things like that. So when I got the tape, it was like, oh my God, I'm holding music in my hand. You know, today it's not like that. But back then it was like exploding your mind of what you can have. And this is like actually the first time I was hearing a distortion. When I was 10 years and I stole my father's cassette of Metallica, and that was like, okay, now I see what the world has to offer me. You know, I didn't even know something like that is possible, you know, that kind of sound. So I just remember the excitement I had. And obviously I was like putting that cassette and just listening to it in repeat for like forever. Because again, this is all I had. So it was that or like shitty music that the radio was playing over here. It's still like that, honestly, nothing really changed. I mean, radio still plays shitty music. But today I can open Spotify or YouTube or whatever and put whatever I want. Back then, okay, I'm going to take that cassette and I'm going to rape it over and over again. So I guess because I was born in the age before the internet, I had this kind of like appreciation, you know, a bit more for bands and sound, yeah.
It was the Black Album?
Wow, I can't remember. I think so. You know, I really can't. I don't even know. I didn't even know to read English back then. So I just saw a band and I put it in the tape and it was loud. And I was, okay, I've never heard anything like that. You know, as a child, it was like, whoa, okay. But, yeah.
No, sorry, we make the same question to everybody. I came from metal. I'm a big metal fan. And it was easy for me when I was child. It's like, you have a black t-shirt, I have a black t-shirt, so we can be friends, you know? In which space you were when you were a child in your school?
Sorry, again?
Well, I'm a big metal fan, so when I was a child, I have a black t-shirt and somebody else have a black t-shirt, and we can be friends, you know. When you were young, you wear black t-shirts or not?
Oh yeah, of course. I was with the boys at school. You know, I didn't like to go to school. I was very, you know, today we know to say hyperactive. We didn't have this back then. I didn't know that that's what I am. But I couldn't sit still, you know, I couldn't get into class. I just wanted to be outside, and that's all. And the only people who understood me were like 5 or 6 boys that were like that too. So they all like found, you know, back then it was Offspring, you know, and I think later in high school it was System of a Down, you know, like all that stuff. So yeah, of course, when you find that music and you realize, okay, now it's in the rhythm that my brain is actually working. It's fast, and I can have something that is as fast, and I get it. So you wanna be part of that music, and then you realize this is part of the fashion. I'm talking about when I was a teenager. So you want to be part of that. So we were like me and 5 other boys who've been like, yeah, let's wear this black T-shirt, be outside, and I was part of it, of course, but I was never like going exactly with that because I had like dreadlocks, red. I wear always like crazy colors. I was always exploring that stuff, I never been like in only one way or another because
Sorry,
weird.
I'm going to make like a personal question because
Go ahead.
No. I love. I love what you write on Instagram and on Facebook, that you don't support radios that doesn't pay royalties to musicians. I love that. Why you say that, and why you are so critical with pop music on radio? Why you say that it's shitty music?
No, okay. I will start with the second question. I don't think it's shitty as a producer. I actually have a lot of respect to pop music, like good one. Maybe not today, but the Madonna, Michael Jackson of back then. There's a lot of work in pop music. I'm making pop music for clients, so I really get it. But when I say shitty, I mean for myself, because when I'm listening to something, I want it to excite me on the sound, on the lyrics, on the thought behind it, on the layers, on the depth of the song. There's so many things that my brain is looking for to get excited over a song. So when I say shitty, I more mean about, how it's like in a pattern. Now, when I'm saying also in Israel, like in the radio, the local pop is even more shittier than I guess in the United States, because it's more of it's a taste thing. For my taste, I don't really like the stuff that is more like Mediterranean instrumentals that are coming from the more of the sound that is Arabic. Not just because I myself like distortion and I love electric guitars and I like drums and I like stuff like that. So for me, the local pop, when I'm saying local pop, is very flat and it's very patterny and it's very electronic, and I just don't find it exciting for me. But I guess it's true for any pop. And for the first part of what you said, what was the first question actually?
But because I love what you write on Facebook and on Instagram, that you don't support radios that doesn't pay royalties to musicians.
Yeah, it's not that I don't like. It's not that I don't like, but it's okay. Look, the only thing that I know how to do it's music. I studied it, sound engineering. I invested hours of since I was a child. I've been in a choir. I was singing. I was teaching myself guitars. I think that only musicians that do music understand the amount of hours and time that you need to invest to really master your instrument. If it's singing, if it's guitars, if whatever. If it's sound engineering, which is so hard, and I'm still always learning and always practicing and always getting skills. So you have to find a way in some point. I'm not 20 years old anymore. I can't live with my parents and take their money. So at some point you have to think about, okay, how can all the investment that I do, all the hard work, how can it pay off on some level? I don't want to be rich or making, crying about how I'm not making money out of my music, because that was never the plan. I never done it for money. It wasn't that at all. I always made music because I felt it's my outlet. The way I can express myself. I can connect with people like you. I can, send message. I can learn stuff from other places. I, expand my mind. But if I can take the hard work that I do and aim it toward a commercial radio stations and other places that they collect royalties and pay after artists, of course I will want to aim there, because at least I will feel that on some level the hard work that I'm doing is somehow, paying off. And I think that once you're raising the bar, it's also a good message for other musicians, because look, if we weren't gonna do it, then it's just the world is going to be having less and less good music, and we see it today, and that's what's happening. Because everyone asks themselves at some point, okay, why am I doing it? I have a family now, I have kids, I have mortgage, I need to pay bills. Maybe music is not maybe good music, something that I love and need to invest time in. It's not what I need to do. So I'm just gonna let go of it because it doesn't give back what I need to live my life. So I think there's a balance. I think there's a good balance that you need to find. So, but here I am. I'm here. I mean, I am here after all. So it just says that I do support anyone who likes to support music, and I will do that as well. But I just think that we need to think about that as well.
Yes, of course. I completely agree. I have two more questions about this because right. we have the chance to speak with a lot of people from the northern countries of Europe, like Sweden and places like that. And one of those told us that, for example, in Sweden, they only play music when they pay. So for them it's hard because sometimes they can't get enough money to live, what you are saying, and they don't do music, and it's hard. Maybe then you can write to them. The name is Murmik. We are going to interview them again next week, and they say, sorry, in Sweden, if they don't pay us, we don't play. Because in Sweden everyone gets money with music. But for them it's hard, because only is money involved in music. What do you think about that?
I'm trying to understand. You say that they need to pay to play music?
Or no. They in Sweden they only play if they pay.
Yeah, I mean that's how it should. I think it should be, again, in some kind of a balance. Okay, I will perform for anyone who wants to hear me, if it's like a good cause, sometimes also gigs for just like getting money to a good cause, I will do that. Any place they want my talent, I will do it. But it became so obvious that artists need to perform for free that when we agree to that, we get the hard work and the talent like in an obvious state, and it's not obvious. It's not. It does require some kind of respect, and I think money, when you pay someone for their time, when you pay a doctor for their services, you never ask twice. When you go to visit the doctor, you don't ask them, will you do that for free? It's only for artists somehow became a thing, and it's a hard work. It's probably the hardest work, because the doctor, when they go into surgery, okay, all the years of learning, they now need to perform. Same with musicians. We learn, then we need to perform and give you, the audience, the best experience. So yeah, 1 second. So I think it values something. All I'm saying, it values something. And yes, I think Sweden, when they do that, it shows in a way that they support culture. And that's a good thing. I think it's an amazing thing.
See, in the end, it's a good thing because they support. I was making signs to Manu because I have two more questions.
Relax, Raúl, relax.
I'm living now. Manu is in Argentina, and I love to speak with you about this because I think that you are honest and you are saying what you think. It's perfect for me. See, I will love that. This radio is about that. See,
and these are like really good questions, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Thanks for that. But you know what is happening? Manu is in Argentina, and I'm living in Barcelona now, and it's really, for me, it's really strange because in Buenos Aires, in Argentina, we have, you don't have to pay to study. For example, if you want to become a doctor, or if you want to become a lawyer, you can make it for free. And in Spain, you have to, for being a doctor, even on the public universities, you have to pay. And then when you pay all your career, all your studies, and then you give you work for the government, and you have to, and the health is free here. It's really complex. And I have another question just to finish this. Can you separate the artist from the music? or for you is the same, the music and the artist?
I hope I understand the question.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, good to know about what you said about Spain and the health. It's really interesting to see the difference. But to your question, I don't think it's like reminding me the questions of AI a bit, because you have a machine, but what operates the machine is the human. There's some kind of purity. You can't forget that all these tools, music and whatever that is, it's art. Eventually, it's a way to express yourself and your thoughts and your ideas. So it obviously comes with the person behind it, and we call it artist, but some call it musician. It's the same. For me, it's the same. When I say artist, when I say musician, I mean the same thing. It's someone who expressed their ideas through frequencies, sounds, different instruments, and that become a piece of art. Now, some, again, do that for commercial uses, so they don't really care about the art of it. And some do that just for the art, they don't care about the commercial. And sometimes you can combine, which what I think is a great way if you have it in you. You can combine those two, but you need to ask yourself, me personally, I will always go toward the art more. I put that first, that's more what I care for. And that's about it. That's why I have 9-minute songs, and that's why I have, things that are so not commercial. But I also have jazz gigs here that I do, and I do other music for commercial reasons. So you need to understand who the audience is. And for NICARUS, what I do as NICARUS, I don't give a shit about commercial at all. It's my way to express my artist ideas only. So art is the object, and the artist is what drives it. So it has to be together, I guess.
Perfect. Manu, no, it's beautiful to speak with you. You are an honest musician, and we like that. Manu has something to say. Manu.
Cool.
Does your music have messages? Your lyrics? What talk about?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Can you say that again?
No, las letras.
Sí. Manu, sorry for the accent.
¿Las letras de qué hablan?
Sí.
¿Las letras de qué hablan? No empecé con el acento, no
sí.
de vuelta. Las letras,
Dale.
la traducción.
Sí.
Simple,
Manu wants to know your lyrics. What you write about?
Ahí va.
My lyrics that I write about. It's really different from each album. The album that you just played, I think it was Blueprint, right? It's the Sipapu album. Yeah, Sipapu album was about, the lyrics were more about, I get inspired by all stuff like philosophy, and I had like Joseph Campbell that had a lot of inspiration over me, and Alan Watts, and all kind of poetry and poems that I read. I had a lot of poetry that came toward me, like Stephen Till from Neurosis had a poetry book, so that was very inspiring. I try always to look for inspiration, but the main thing that I wrote over in Sipapu was really about all kind of hard truths of life that I myself find curious about, like what is spirituality? What is spirituality? Why are we not always conscious? And when we are conscious, what's different between us? All these deeper questions. I think music, especially on Sipapu and Holy Sun, Father Spirit, and some parts also on Call People, Call Puppets, my second album. On all these albums, I had four albums so far. And I think in each one of my albums, I somehow on some level touched on these topics. I don't really like to write about, the conventional stuff, love and me, because I think there's so much me in the world today that when I'm listening to music, I find it a bit boring. But when I'm opening lyrics of bands like Meshuggah or bands like, even before Dod Amesgard, that it's like, I don't even know, it's like a Bible. I don't even understand the lyrics, And bands from the past, I love the fact that I need to struggle to understand the meaning. And because English is not my main language, I can't reach that level, sadly. But I'm trying my best to get the beautiful rhythm that English has to drive ideas that are not day ideas, that are a bit different from that. So that's mainly what I do. Wow. It's part of the art process for me.
Beautiful.
Wow. However, when I listen NICARUS, it sounds like a band that really could be played on the radio, But it seems that the market does not want there to be any other ideas floating around. Do you agree? About love, you say all is talking about me, but it seems that if you talk about different things, you are not going to sound in the radio.
That's very, very true. Mainstream does not like to be challenged, period.
Exactly.
Because they are afraid so much of what other people think. So it's a bubble in a way that feeds itself. Everyone is afraid that if I will challenge the mainstream, then I will be, losing my job as a music editor. I will losing my job as this. There's a lot of fear when it comes to decision making in the mainstream. That's why they keep it as a closed bubble, what the most like, what everyone is like, even though they might be completely wrong about what most like, but they keep it this way for years, and that's fine, that's fine. It's a bubble inside a bubble. This is the mainstream bubble, and we don't care about the mainstream bubble so much. We give them the respect that they want, but we do our own bubbles, like this radio, and I'm sure others, that looking for something else. This is the community that I'm talking about. You have the metal community and the heavy music community, and you have so many communities that the idea is that we don't have to agree with it, we don't have to fight it, but we can do our own and find people that agree with it and that love to challenge themselves. And I think this is why your questions are very good, and this is why we can talk, I'm sure, for hours, because we love to challenge ideas, and I don't even want the mainstream to be like that, because if the mainstream will be like that, I will feel that they attacked my little bubble that I feel safe in. So I'm happy that they're stupid. I'm happy that they're having their own thing, and they can't really touch us, and we affect them a lot. The things we do outside the mainstream bubble does affect the mainstream, and it gets there sometimes. But it can't stay for a long time because, again, the mainstream does not like to be challenged. So they don't look at us and we don't look at them, and that's fine. They're not enemies. They're just, different species. Like whales and lions. It's completely different species. We're fine with it, We don't care.
Wow.
Between humans, you say different species between humans.
Yes, we are humans, but me, like you said, I am not as scared to experiment and to try other stuff, and I don't really care what people think of me. Okay, so
I love that thing you say, that the bubble.
Yeah, it's bubbles. We are all humans, yes. That's true, but the mainstream, as a mainstream, it's just have these rules and codes that you can't really break it, and if you try to break it, you're outside the mainstream. That's just how it is. And that's fine. I'm not even trying to be part of the mainstream. I'm happy where I am at. Look, the day that they will put NICARUS on a mainstream radio, like 9-minute song, I will be like, what the hell is going on? The world is on fire. Like, no way they can put 9-minute song. Pink Floyd were the only band that made to do it. And I still think it's very puzzling for me how it happened, but it's not something that usually happens,
I love that you say that the bubble, because it's like the mainstream lock you in a bubble, and everyone end up thinking the same things, repeat the same news, the same things that you heard in the television and politicians say, and listening that shitty music. That's what you listen shitty music on the radio.
Exactly, and then we do crazy stuff, and we meet people like you, and for 1 second we are remembering that we are all humans and we are all the same. But the only thing that the only wrong thing is all this mainstream system that try to again fear us into division, and that's why there will always be underground, because underground was always about fuck that, fuck politics, fuck what you do. We don't care about that. We know there are more people like us out there, and we're gonna find them.
The difficult part is we will have to think if we are locked up in some bubble and we repeat what someone else wants.
That's a very good thought. Yeah,
that's the very desafío. ¿Cómo se dice desafío?
Sí, the challenge.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Challenge. That's the challenge.
That's the challenge. You're right. We need to open our mind, always. That's why I was also saying that I so much agree with what you just said, because I myself decided that I was so busy in hating the mainstream that in a way was my own bubble. And I was locked to that. And at some point, I also opened myself, and that's why I'm today doing pop music and jazz and other stuff. I do also mainstream, because that's my way of saying I am not going to be like locked. I'm going to come with peace to any bubble. But yeah, I'm a weirdo. I'm going to stay a weirdo. I'm going to do these 9 minutes of heavy songs. You're not going to take that from me. If you're gonna like me or not, it's your thing. And I don't think, but you know what? I don't think we can stay like that. I do see that a lot in the metal music. Sometimes you have these people with this, look tough, and they have these patches things and bands and all that. But then they are coming, like what you said, they are spreading the same messages that the mainstream is saying. So in a way, you are mainstream. It doesn't care that you put, if you say the same things that a mainstream is saying, it just doesn't matter your look. If you have a cool t-shirt with a band on it, but then you go ahead and you say exactly what politicians say, you're not, sorry, but it's just a fashion thing. You're not really underground. And I remember the days of the, metal when it started, it was really about rebelling against these people with suits. But today, it just kind of switched that the people, the metal people became the people in suits, and the people with suits are actually sometimes making more sense. So I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on here? This is why it's really important to look beyond fashion and look beyond appearance and really not listening to the news, not listening to the mainstream things, and question always, the motives. It's hard times, but if you got it in you, and if it's important to you, the world is important to you, the universe is important to you, and you want to be part of it, I mean, you're gonna find your way. And what's important for me to say the most is that's okay to make mistakes, because it's such a confusing world today. And what you think is a rebel is actually not a rebel, and what you think is not a rebel is actually a rebel. Because it's such a confusing world today, it's okay to say, whoa, maybe I've made a mistake, and just, try again and question yourself again. There's no other way. I do it all the time myself. I've made many mistakes on that lately, and you have to do it. Yeah.
Muy bueno. Excellent.
I can go and be a politician.
No, it's excellent. This excellent. Radio is about what you were talking about. Thank you very much. It is incredible to speak with you. Just we are going to close the interview. Tell us something. You have 4 records. Tell us something about your future plans.
About my future plans, I have a plan to take over Mars and build a spaceship and travel the fuck away from here. No, I'm always writing music, and this is my way to escape the war zone I'm living in. So every time I think, okay, maybe I'm done. Maybe I'm not gonna write another album, because I always ask myself that, because it's a lot of work. I tell myself, okay, maybe I'm done. NICARUS can go retire now. Then I find myself getting a bit crazy with the reality around, and I just dive in writing more music. So I guess I don't have many plans, but just keep doing what I do, and to see where it taking me. I do want to be in Spain so much. I want to meet the people on the ground, the actual people that love music and love freedom, and want to be just unite beyond the ideas that they push, and I just don't know how to do it right now, so I can't promise anything. But if you hear it, and if you wanna do something with NICARUS, don't just reach me, and I would love to. I really would love to go to Spain, to anywhere. Looking to travel. I can just put a guitar on me and my effects and just go gig anywhere.
Perfect.
So this is my plan, basically.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for your time. It was really nice to speak with you. Really interesting. We are going to meet again maybe in some future, because it's really interesting what you are talking about. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much for having me.
No.
Thank you very much for having me, for finding that music, to support that. It's really appreciated these days more than ever. So keep on doing what you're doing. It's awesome to feel like what the hard work is being appreciated, and I love that. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Talk to your friend about Careta Radio, please. Talk to your friends.
About what?
About us. About Careta Radio.
About Careta Radio.
Uh-huh.
Which?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I will share it for sure. I will. Definitely.
Share.
Thank,
Share with everyone.
thank you very much.
I will.
Bye bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, NICARUS. Say
Bye-bye.
that.
This is a man world. This is a man world. But it would be nothing. It would be nothing without a woman or a girl. See, man made a car to take us over the road. Man made a train to carry the heavy load. Man made electric light to take us out of the dark. Man made a boat on the water like Noah made the ark. This is a man world, but it would be nothing without a woman or a girl. Without a woman or a girl. Man, think about a little baby girl and a baby boy. Man makes them happy, 'cause man makes them toys. And after man made everything he can, you know that man makes money to buy from another man. This is a man.